da 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 da. Hello everyone and welcome back to Knights of the Old Republic 2. Wow. Okay. Great start. Also a great start. You might notice that I am not where I left off at the end of the last part. Well, I recorded a whole episode, and then realized that the game audio was not recording. And since it's a lot of dialogue and plot and cinematics, we needed that sound. This was my earliest save, so go ahead and run the montage of what happened from the end of the last episode to now. After clearing the rogue facility on Telos' surface, we took the shuttle away from the base and headed to the unmapped polar region. Of course, the HK assassin droids were waiting there for us and shot down our shuttle, much to Atton's chagrin. We were thrown clear from the ship and Bayodur was knocked out, so, after some light banter, we initiated combat with the droids. The battle was pitched, cinematic, and extremely difficult. I may have been out of practice because I died. A few times, actually. But we eventually won the day, got an HK droid part, couldn't do anything to help Bayodur, and headed to the only door available. Okay, so it has been not that long, but some stuff did happen. So now that we beat those HK units, in order to save Bayodur over here, we gotta go into the Polar Plateau. See, if you don't take care of your medic, or your mechanic, I mean, this is what happens. He gets captured immediately.
Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed.
Who are you?
I will not warn you again. Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense people come to no harm.
Very well. I did not come here to do battle.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes, it bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, Atris, you have been clever.
Atris?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deep, deeper to its source.
Stop! Stop! Ah!
Ah, with the fear is mingled guilt. It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? Ah, and there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atton. If he is a Jedi, he will forgive. And if he is not, he will not care.
You can't tell him, please. I'm asking you. I don't want him to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atten, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war and those who follow them. You are a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this man we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If Atris learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scow like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Dejaric can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship. And the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough
Hey,
time.
whoa, hey!
Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
Jeez. It's so difficult to like Kreia because, like, that cutscene where she just berates Atten for 5 straight minutes. And Atten is, like, the most normal person on your crew. But we've got other things to worry about. Like this one here.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the Exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why?
So, before we had covered that our character is the Jedi Exile. They have been exiled from the Jedi Order. Atris here was our most outspoken critic of that banishment. Why don't you tell me what you've done with my friends first?
Your concern is noted. Your friends have not been harmed. They have been detained for their safety. I find it unusual that you are traveling with others again. I had thought you had forsaken the company of others after the war. Or is that why you are here?
It was not my intention to come here, Atris, or to see you again.
Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out?
The Council exiled me out of fear, of Revan, of me, and of what we represented.
You sought adventure. You hungered for battle. You could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled.
I also recall you wished me imprisoned. Or worse.
There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I had kept it, so I would never forget.
That's my lightsaber.
Indeed. A lightsaber is the mark of a Jedi. When you turned your back on the Order, it was not yours anymore. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order.
Keep it then. I could care less.
I suspected as much. You cared nothing for the trappings of the Jedi. And you cared nothing for the Order, even on that final day you came before us. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice.
I went to war to protect others, not for battle.
So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way.
And the Council's way was to meet aggression with surrender. I'll take my choice any day.
Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us.
Were you not tempted to help the innocent?
Of course I was. But the Jedi teachings require we examine how we may best help them. Action without reflection is not our way.
So you were content to let the Outer Rim die? For the sake of teachings?
There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite.
If we had not fought, the Republic would have fallen. That is a fact.
A physical victory perhaps, but the real victory lay
in the triumph of pacifism. Surrender?
Do not twist my words. A physical victory is not the only victory, or the only loss.
If we had not acted, thousands of worlds would have been pillaged and burned of life.
You do not know—
If the Mandalorians won, would the Jedi have fought then? Or simply have meditated on what to do?
How dare you? The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died.
Your anger, is it because you secretly wish you had the strength to follow me to war?
What? What do you mean?
I could see it in you. You wanted to fight by my side, but you were too scared to defy the Council.
You're wrong, just as you were when you defied the Council. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here?
I'm looking for my ship so I can leave Telos.
Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility.
The destruction of Paragus was an accident.
Ah, an accident. Something beyond your control. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done?
Why don't you tell me?
Without the fuel from Paragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds.
What do you mean?
Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime.
But the Sith attacked me on Paragus. The battle destroyed the colony.
The Sith? What do you mean?
The Sith have returned, and they are hunting all Jedi.
You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. Tell me, where did you encounter them?
The Sith came for me on Paragus, to kill me.
Paragus? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you.
The Sith believe me to be the last Jedi.
You? If they thought you were Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here.
I do not think I was followed.
We shall see. For now, the perspective on your situation has changed. I have your ship. I will return it to you. You must leave here before you place us in jeopardy.
Wait. Is there anything I can do to help?
You offer your aid? After turning your back on me? On the Council? The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that. Something you never seem to understand.
You can't do this alone. I offer my assistance.
Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, Perhaps our defenses shall be stronger for it. Take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there we can call a council and see what can be done.
If there's anyone who can aid us, I will find them.
Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove him, mistress. Come with us.
Yeah, whatever.
Are you all right, mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachments. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
It's lightly implied that the Atris and the Exile, if they're male, kind of had feelings for each other before the Mandalorian Wars and before all that stuff went down. Lightly implied, although the canon Exile is female. Another cutscene. This occurs when you get to a certain threshold of dark side or light side points. This cutscene triggers, since we got some light side points in that last conversation. Enjoy. More cutscenes. Oh boy.
I have felt it too, my lord. A disturbance in the Force. It was difficult to make out, my lord. At first it was such a quiet thing. I did not notice it, but now I wonder as if it has always been there. I merely could not hear it before. The sound built so slowly, yet when you listen for it, you can make out the strains, even over the background life of the universe. Do you feel it is a... You are the darkness in which all life dies, my lord. All life exists to feed your power. And my life is yours. I beg you, please, let me die. Yes, this disturbance echoes through the Force. I can follow it to its source and bring it to you. I will leave at once, my lord.
So that's Nihilus. Darth Nihilus, to be specific. He is on the cover of the game. I did want to talk about, I don't think I can go through here, yeah. I did want to talk about that confrontation with Atris, because it seems so cool. As a person playing the game for the first time, I got excited, because I was like, oh great, a Jedi, they're gonna put me on the right path. And when they pulled out my lightsaber, I'm like, great, you can just give that to me and we'll be on our way. But this is such a a great confrontation because they're both your character and Atris are both so stubborn that it ends up being a confrontation. They just bring up the same old shit over and over again. And obviously that turns into a giant shouting match because they're both so obstinate. And your character dives right in as well. More on that in a little bit.
Did you find what you came for?
I think so, but we have to go now.
Are you certain you're ready to depart? I sense some unrest in you. There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still.
The woman here is a Jedi, Atris, one of the Council.
There is a Jedi here, perhaps. In that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious.
Aren't the handmaidens students?
No, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls, trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive.
How do you know that? Were you reading their minds?
Invade the mind of another. It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained.
That's not a no. Let's talk about it on the way out of here.
Very well. Let us depart.
What happened to Atten?
He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
All right, then, let me free you.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash.
There is nothing to apologize for. Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we?
A Jedi Academy, concealed on the northern pole of Telos.
This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use.
Are you well enough to travel?
I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship.
Come with me, then. I could use your help.
Very well, General.
Well, I'm definitely going to take Atten and Beodur because...
Mistress, you summoned me.
I have a task for you. The Exile is dangerous. I'm concerned that he was able to return to Republic space and reach Telos without my knowledge.
Mistress, the Harbinger was lost in transit. It was our failing.
What is done, but now I need you to travel with him.
Mistress,
I realize what I'm asking of you, and I am asking that you keep your purpose a secret, even from your sisters. I need someone to watch the Exile closely, and let me know if he contacts the Sith. More importantly, I need you to study him closely. I need to know what he thinks, what he does. Become part of his group, earn his trust, get him to confide in you.
I will do as you ask, Mistress. But, Mistress, the Exile did not seem to pose a threat to us.
Ah, but he does. Do not be fooled by the exterior. It is his nature you must beware. He fell to the dark side once. He will do so again. I am trusting you with this task, last of my handmaidens. Do not disappoint me. The galaxy, the Jedi, may depend on it.
What I was going to say is that I want to take Beodur and Atten so that I don't have to listen to Kreia berate me. But yeah, back to Atris and the Exile. I find it really fascinating because regardless of how you're playing your character, it makes sense that they don't get along. If you're playing a light side character, it's I needed to protect these people. I went to war so that I could protect innocent civilians from the Mandalorian slaughter. And if you're a dark side character, you get the other side of that, which is I went to war. I went to war because I wanted to, and it was great.
Hear you.
So screw you. And there's a very There's very little place in between for interpretation. Obviously, Atris has a lot going on, and it seems kind of evident that she's not really being upfront about the reasons why she takes such an issue with your character traipsing off to war. And if there is something between those characters, if they did have feelings for each other, and the exile ended up just traipsing off to war and left her behind, maybe that's why. Maybe that's the reason for that resentment and that anger. There's a lot to unpack, and that's something that I really like about that conversation, because it's so fun to have your character immediately take a stance and just be confronted about your beliefs and your emotions, and basically to have your character just dig a line in the sand right away. T3.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebon Hawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
It is unlikely the droid stole the vessel.
Says you.
Is this your droid? It looks badly damaged. Dissected.
T3, are you alright? It wasn't your fault they took the ship, T3. Hold on, what information are you talking about? Why would she want what's in your memory core? You can fill me in later. Let me get you out of there first. We'll see you at the Ebon Hawk. Got some influence with T3 for making sure he's alright. Let me equip my items again here. Which one was mine? Probably this one? And that one. Yeah. I also got some influence with Beodur for basically doing the same thing. There she is. The Ebon Hawk. What a piece of junk. Yeah, Atris just comes on so proud and like obstinate. She's like, "Oh, I'm the last Jedi. I'm everything there will be. Like, you don't have to, like, you're nothing to me." And then you're like, "Oh yeah, I got attacked by the Sith." And she's like, "I'm sorry, what? How is that possible?" All right, let's as Atten would say, let's burn sky till we see lines. Let's get out of here. Once aboard, you'll be leaving the Telos Polar Academy for good. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get the heck out of Dodge. This place sucks. Later, Atris.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left?
But why? Her oath.
I sent her to travel with the exile. She may discover something I cannot.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens. She is willful, and she has demonstrated her fascination with Jedi. It may not have been why.
I know what I have done, but it was necessary.
Well, now that we're off that Dajaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What's with T3? Slow down, I didn't catch that first part. You downloaded Atris's archives?
What is the machine saying?
He said there was a holo record of my trial in Atris's records.
We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
You have called me here to answer for my crimes on Malachor 5.
As Revan summoned you,
So have you come full circle to return to the Jedi?
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
The truth is, the Mandalorians had to be stopped, or countless more would have died.
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor V will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there, more like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. He speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the Exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the Exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor V should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There is still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
Those last few moments after my trial, I had no idea. If you find anything else, let me know. Atris has a list of all the missing Jedi? Sure, display it. Those Jedi were all on the council that exiled me.
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Be that as it may, we need their help against the Sith.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
If it comforts you to believe that, then so be it. But the enemies you face are many, and you will need all the help you can get. It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help.
I will take whatever help I can get.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General.
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself.
Look, forget Atten. Just take the regular quarters. We have enough room.
It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
Handmaiden has joined the party.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore?
It was taken from me.
That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that.
I'm not afraid of building a new lightsaber if that's what you think.
I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete.
And how would we start?
I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need.
Since when did you become an expert on lightsabers?
I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal. Though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits?
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior.
What's going on here?
I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.
Permanent +2 bonus to his constitution. Amazing. Okay. Lot to unpack there. All of those cutscenes happen pretty much when they unlock, and then they just play them back to back without any input. So no chance to pause if you're looking for a save like I was. But all right, we are pretty much finally into the open world. We will set a course next time and figure out where to go. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.